Cabernet Sauvignon. If there is one grape variety that can be called the great explorer, it's Cabernet Sauvignon. No other variety has made its way to so many different vineyards across the planet, settled down, and made so many excellent wines. These wines all have, in small or generous quantities, the distinctive aromas of black currants and pencil shavings. Cabernet Sauvignon has become a hero for drinkers and winemakers alike, as it's adaptable, quite easy to grow, and tastes so distinctive. Let's first make sure we have the pronunciation correct before we find out about King Cabernet. Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon. You try read this. With our steak tonight, I rarely recommend this big, fruity Cabernet Sauvignon. Well done. Cabernet Sauvignon's traditional home is in Bordeaux, where it is blended with other red varieties to make up the great red wines of the region. But whether it is here in France or in the vineyards of Spain, Australia, Chile or South Africa, Cabernet Sauvignon manages to make characteristically big, bold wines with black fruits and interesting herbal aromas. Cabernet Sauvignon vines bud and ripen late, so its small berries with thick skins need time to ripen on the vine. In Bordeaux, France, where the overall climate is quite cool, the grapes need a good amount of sun to ripen properly. This all means the wines have high amounts of tannins from their thick skins, deep in color, and because of the small berries, the grapes' flavors are intense. This is why Cabernet Sauvignon wines are called big wines. They are big in flavor and in texture. If Cabernet Sauvignon was a person, he would be 6'6" in an elegant suit with a loud, boisterous laugh. But if the climate is cool and the grapes do not receive enough sun, the wines will take on a herbaceous green vegetative character. Some of the aromas will be like that of grass or green pepper. Can you think of another grape that smells like this? If you said Sauvignon Blanc, you would be correct. These common aromas are not a coincidence. In fact, Cabernet Sauvignon is the offspring of Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Franc. At some point in the past, we don't know exactly when, Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Franc cross-pollinated and produced a new variety, Cabernet Sauvignon. Chemicals such as pyrazines give both Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Sauvignon its green, grassy flavors. Because the pyrazines burn off as the grapes ripen in the sun, if you smell or taste them in a Cabernet Sauvignon, it signals that the grapes were picked underripe. Cabernet Sauvignon is able to grow in a number of soils. The famous Cabernet Sauvignon vines in Bordeaux prefer gravelly, well-drained soils. These gravel soils are able to retain heat, important in this cool area, and allow the grapes to ripen properly. Denser soils, such as clay, are cooler and don't work as well in cool climates, but can produce intense Cabernets in warmer climates. In other parts of the world, Cabernet Sauvignon grows in many types of soils, but prefers soils that have good drainage and low potential vigor. Even though Cabernet Sauvignon needs a lot of sunlight to ripen, if the climate is too warm and the grapes end up overripe, the wines will taste soft and jammy, with flavors of cooked blackberries. As always, a balance between soil, climate, and geography that allows for a long, even ripening time on the vine is important. In the cellar, Cabernet Sauvignon's thick skins allow for long maceration times. Can you remember what maceration is? Ah, that's right. It's the time the grape juice spends in contact with the grape skins to extract color and tannins. For softer, lighter wines, maceration will take about 2 days. But for full-bodied wines with deep color and more tannins, maceration can take up to 3 weeks. After maceration and fermentation, Cabernet Sauvignon is almost always aged in oak barrels. Cabernet Sauvignon adores oak. It loves to envelop itself in the vanilla and spicy oak aromas that mix beautifully with the dark fruit flavors of blackcurrant, black cherry and plum. Many Cabernet Sauvignons will spend between 12 and 18 months in oak barrels. In the barrel, the flavors and aromas from the oak merge with the wines. Because of the grape's thick skins, Cabernet Sauvignon can easily have lots of tannins. The oak barrels can extract some of the harsher tannins, so the wine ends up being easier on the palate. Good Cabernet Sauvignon emerges from the barrels spicy, tannic, rich and dark-colored, with lots of black fruit flavor and aroma. Because of the wine's tannic structure, good Cabernets need a few years to mature in bottles before they are ready to drink. The very best need 10 to 15 years to open up. In Cabernet Sauvignon, the primary flavors of blackberry, blackcurrant, black cherry, plums, and herbal aromas such as mint and eucalyptus merge with the secondary aromas from the oak barrels, such as dark chocolate, coffee, licorice, and vanilla. As the wine ages, flavors and aromas such as cigars, cedarwood, and pencil shavings reveal themselves. Cabernet Sauvignon is known for making big, bold wines with intense, dark, fruity primary flavors, balanced by rich, bold secondary flavors. In cooler climates, the wines can be austere, fresh, and slightly herbal. When the grapes ripen more in warmer climates, the wines have more sweet fruit and taste more juicy. When it comes to matching this variety with food, you need to look for intensely flavored dishes, such as beef, venison, and lamb that have been cooked for an extended period of time. The intensity from the food should match the intensity of the wine. Younger wines that still have high amounts of tannins go well with meaty dishes. The protein in the meat breaks down the tannin in the wine, meaning that the mouthfeel is more balanced. These high tannins mean that the wines do not go well with the vegetable dishes or vegetable-based sauces. If your guests are looking for a full-bodied big red wine with lots of structure and flavor, you should suggest a Cabernet Sauvignon. Enjoy serving King Cabernet Sauvignon, the king of grapes, to your guests.